Hello everyone, it's Michael from Chess Lifestyle, and today we are training 54 minutes, and by training I mean taking a look at the games from the tournament that I won. Now I realize, you guys have got many questions right now, like why on earth am I streaming in just a towel and a medal? How on earth did I manage to win this tournament? And what on earth happened to my hair? All of these questions will be answered very soon. So firstly, to explain the towel, I thought I'd finally, admit to what are the, exclusive Patreon content these guys have been signing up for. No, I'm just kidding. I did some laundry and I realized that I actually have no more clothes to wear. So all of my clothes are soaking wet and on the drying rack. So yeah, you get to enjoy a towel stream. Today. I can't believe I said towel stream so candidly. I think at some point, I'm just gonna have to reveal my nipples because, you know what? I have two towels, by the way. I have two towels. You guys can chill. So, okay, I managed to win. Mikhail Towel, that's amazing, Gloin. And yeah, thank you for the congratulations from Josh and Gloin. Appreciate that. So yeah, basically today I wanted to share with you how on earth did I do it, how did I win this event, why chess has been going well for me recently. Did you get dunked in a fountain like Magnus after he won? I mean, definitely I was showered with a lot of love, but yeah, no wet clothes for that reason. But yeah, let me share my screen and share some photos. So yeah, basically, I played in this chess tournament. It's a rapid play, or 7 rounds. And this was the lineup. So basically, a decently strong field in the sense that, a lot of these guys are actually pretty underrated. One FM who will appear later in this story. But yeah, I was ranked 4th seed. And I streamed the night before the tournament, and I think I was in generally a pretty good chess mood. I woke up after, not many hours sleep, like 4 hours sleep, because, I had a chess lesson to teach. And actually, I should clarify as well, I've had less than 8 hours sleep across the span of 2 days. So I am really sleep deprived, and I'm actually kind of grateful that my Wednesday lesson today got cancelled because I really need to just sleep like 12 hours and just recover. But yeah, still I wanted to stream and share with you guys my experience and my games. So this tournament was 7 rounds, and I ended up winning it. You can see here me collecting my prize with my old hair before I got this haircut. After the event, this is some money I won and the medal. And after the event, these 3 guys, I treated them to lunch because as the eldest, I felt like it's only right for me to treat them. But I said if I win the tournament, then you guys all have to treat me, right? So at that point, I was on 4 out of 4. And I'll go into the round specifics very soon, but I was on 4 out of 4, and I said if I win the tournament then you have to treat me. So this guy, I should know his name. Wait, let me check. I know what letter it begins with. Is it Shiv? Nah, no way. Shiv an ACM. Is Shiv really an ACM? No, what was his name? I know the other 2 names because I've met them more than once, but I was meeting this guy for the first time. Oh, this is so embarrassing. I want to go with Shiv. Okay, let's go with Shiv. So Shiv bought me, and if anyone knows these guys on stream, please let me know. Hey, that's me. It is? Okay, amazing. You're the Wandering Pawn? Oh no, wait, no. The Wandering Pawn is oh my god, why am I choking on the names? Andy. The Wandering Pawn is Andy, right? Am I correct? How much rating did you gain? Unfortunately for me, it wasn't a rated tournament, but if we click on my profile, we can see that I would have gained 22 rating points had it been FIDE rated. But I'll get into round specifics soon enough. But because yeah, I mean, in a way, I'm very glad it wasn't rated in the sense that like there were terribly underrated players, which, you know, I mean, okay, I had a good tournament, but you know, like in most cases, I should lose rating in this field. It's only because I didn't lose a game that I managed to be on such a positive. But yeah, yeah, Shiv treated me to a bubble tea. Andy treated me to this mascot you can see here, which is also from the Mixu. Wait, what's the how do you pronounce it? I think it's Mishu. Okay, yeah. I thought the Wandering Pawn was Andy. Is it Shiv? Oh, okay, yeah, it is Shiv. Okay, good. Yeah, so yeah, got this mascot, and Brandon treated me to some KFC, and yeah, the burger was pretty damn good. And yeah, we you know, played some Bug House after and chilled. Yeah, this is the mascot again. So yeah, it was a pretty good day overall, and I had some further celebrations which I will not go into on stream, but yeah, I had a good evening and day in general. But yeah, I wanted to take a look at my games. And actually, I had scheduled a chess lesson with my coach. Also, thank you, Ilan, for the congratulations. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I scheduled a lesson with my coach, and we haven't had like a call for like several months. But I had some games I wanted to review, not from the tournament. So I sent these to him with like very specific questions to go through. And I also mentioned to him that, you know, I'll have just played this tournament. Maybe I will notate some of these games down, and we can go through them as well. And yeah, credit to Roger for, you know, like waking up a couple hours early just to look through my games and, you know, share some instructive comments just before the lesson, because, you know, I uploaded them very late. So yeah, these comments are mostly mine, and but yeah, there are some really nice insights that he provided too. So maybe because of my sleep deprivation, maybe because of my elation from winning the tournament, I'm feeling very generous today, and we're going to go through you know, some of his analysis as well as my own analysis, and try and learn a thing or two about these games. And I mean, reviewing these games as well for me personally is something I want to do, because, you know, I can learn more from it. Please don't stand up. Yes, Ilan. I will not stand up. Otherwise, yeah, bye Chess Lifestyle YouTube. If you want the full story of why I am wearing nothing but a towel and a medal, you will need to rewind to the start of this stream. But without further ado, let's take a look at the games. We have 7 rounds to review. I managed to get most of the games completed and down on paper, so let's have a look. So, okay, my first round, I'm playing a 1500. A 1500, who plays pretty well for a 1500, but I mean, I think this was like the weakest opponent I played, and I mean, it also is reflected by the final score. Like, maybe I move this tab so you guys can see this more easily, because I realize my camera is probably blocking. But oh, is this gonna work? Oh no. Okay, this is not streamer friendly. Okay, yeah, there we go. So yeah, basically, I was playing a 1500. Actually, I think in terms of my pairings, I probably got the hardest pairings you can imagine. Like, literally 4 of my opponents scored 5 out of 7 or more, which is absolutely insane. Of like a of pairings you can get. But yeah, we'll get into it. So this first round, I played C3 Venom. And my opponent played d6 here, so you never really know what to expect. I mean, they could be playing e5 on move 2. They could be playing like some, you know, Black Lion type setup. But my opponent decided to play knight d7, knight f6, and g6. And basically, we've transposed into a King's Indian, which I am more than happy to see, because basically, the more familiarity I have with an opening, the better I tend to do, because, you know, if I've analyzed my games, then I will have, you know, gain some experience from this, right? So, okay, I play e3, bishop g7, knight f3, and I mean, this is basic c3 Venom. Like the rule is you develop your kingside first, and then you touch the queenside later. So we don't commit with these pieces until we know what setup black is going for. Because in the King's Indian, black can play with e5 or black can play with c5, and you've got to like be very tentative as to what setup they go for, and that will affect how you develop your pieces. So I'm happy developing my kingside pieces, and he plays rook e8. And whenever I see my opponents play rook e8, I'm very, very happy to see this, because if they play the move e5 here, this is actually a mistake, because I don't know if this is actually a mistake in normal King's Indian with the pawn on c4. It's probably not a mistake, because I think there'll be some bishop takes b2 at the end. But in this very specific c3 Venom move order, we get the line d5, d5, knight e5, and we're not losing a knight, because after knight e5, queen d8, rook d8, bishop e5. And this is like a trick that I get like all the time in c3 Venom, just to go up a pawn. So after rook e8, I was expecting him to go e5, but credit to him, you know, like he stops to think for a little bit, and he decides not to play e5. So I don't know if he calculated everything, or maybe he just like intuitively felt that maybe it's a little hairy somehow. But he decided to play a6, I play a4, and he goes with c5 instead. Okay, fine. I play bishop h2. I'm still curious to see whether he might play e5 anyway, but no, he plays queen b6, attacking my b pawn. I play queen c2, and here he thinks again for a long while. And this is the very nice thing. I mean, in this London setup against King's Indian, I feel very confident with the plans and ideas, and black clearly doesn't. I mean, they set up something random against London, and then they try and work it out, and then they realize they have no idea what they're doing. So he just goes back queen d8, and the logic is because he wants to play with b6 and bishop b7. He realizes that is like a better setup for him. Fine. I play rook e1 and bishop f1. And at this point, like, I've probably spent like none of my time. Like, all of these moves I could play pretty much automatically. Maybe queen c2 was the only move I slowed down a little bit on. So I was really ahead on the clock at this point. So my opponent was feeling some time pressure, as you do. He played rook c8. I got off the line of the rook with queen b3. And the very nice thing with c3 Venom is that because you're so solid, you're making improving moves because you stand statically better in most cases. My opponent makes the first mistake and very generously plays this move knight e4, which basically blunders to knight e4, bishop e4, knight g5. And I think at first, maybe what was I looking at? I didn't see this immediately. I think I saw something else that made me feel like knight e4 was bad. I don't quite remember what, but I mean, I didn't play this immediately because I wanted to make sure that this was actually working. Like, I was calculating whether like knight e4, bishop e4, knight g5, can they throw in like c4 or something? But you know, I've got a bishop on f1. I think I even forgot about my own bishop on f1 at first when I was calculating this, right? So, yeah, basically, I went knight e4, bishop e4, knight g5, and funnily enough, he blitzed out the move c4, and I think he had just completely forgotten about my bishop as well. So this has just gone from bad to worse. And yeah, it's already completely busted. My opponent tried to play dynamically with an exchange stack, but it doesn't really achieve anything. I decided to grab another pawn. Knight f6. I decided to trade the bishop, which I think is reasonable. I'm heading towards queen c7 to try and trade queens or win the b pawn. So he plays e6, which is quite a nice move. Because, you know, if I play queen c7, now he has the option to try and bring his queen to the king side for some counterplay. So I kick away the knight. I asked my coach whether, like, you know, he feels like f3 is, like, a bit too weakening, a bit too risky, but he was like, nah, it's good. Just, you know, kick that knight from e4. Go knight d6, queen c6, knight f5. I decided to push in the center with e4. I think knight e7 was, like, the first real positional mistake that I didn't like. I felt like he had to try for something with knight h4 and queen g5, but you know, it's obviously never working in a million years, but still you got to try something. But knight e7 just makes it really easy because I just play queen c7, and I guess he thought that, you know, it's fine because if I take on b6 he's got rook b8 and maybe get some counterplay, but I'm not interested in a pawn. I just play a5. And to be honest, I think again the better try would be to play b5 here to just I don't know, try something. But he takes on a5, which means I just force the trade of queens, and my opponent has seen enough and he resigns. So yeah, I think a very, very clean first round. Always nice to start the day with the white pieces. I always get black to start, so I was like very surprised that I get the luck with the white pieces to start. And yeah, a nice game. And as you can see, there are literally no comments from my coach on this game because he's not going to waste time commenting where there's no need to comment. So yeah, nice clean game. So the next game, I'm playing a guy who looks pretty hyped up. Like I got vibes from him. Maybe it's just like pure aura that like he seemed to be like pretty strong. And yeah, he turned out to be really strong. I mean, he scored. Wait, did I close? Oh no, it's here. This is Habiba Rahman Adnan. He scored 5 out of 7 in the end. I think he even lost in the. No, he didn't lose in the last round. That's not possible. I don't know. He was on board 2. No, that's also a lie. Was he board 2 in the final round? Or was that the penultimate round? Anyway, I don't remember. Anyway, he had a good tournament. And for 1600, he played very, very well. But at the same time, I mean, there were definitely aspects of his play that suggested why he's still lower rated. But yeah, he played f4. And actually, this game, I showed up to the game like a minute or two late. Yeah, the annoying thing is like they published like a starting round schedule, but every time that they finished the rounds early, they just started the next round early and just WhatsApped everyone to be like, yo, we're starting the round early. So it's like, yeah, it was a bit chaotic, but okay. I mean, like, it meant you got a longer lunch break, managed to squeeze 7 rounds instead of 6, finish the day a bit early. Like, I rated. Yeah, it was a very nice event, really well run overall. So this was cool. But yeah, he played birds. So I played my setup, which I particularly go for in Rapid and Blitz, which is basically to play h6 and g5. Just to turn the tables on the attacking birds or reverse Dutch player, and basically, try and take the initiative against them. So my line with this is if they take, I play queen d6, and I actually had a really fantastic game in Blitz against a 2400 IM, which I managed to win in this exact position. I don't remember exactly how the game went, but I think what ended up happening was he played the move d3 here, and I was just thinking like, I'm playing an IM, you only live once, knight takes h2, and I ended up playing like the most flawless game. Actually, knight takes h2 just wins a pawn. Oh, no. I know what he played. After knight d4, I think the IM played the move g3 or something. No, but that looks even worse, man. I can just take on h2. I don't know what he played. I can't remember anymore. Anyway, like, I had a very good win against this 2400 IM. It's on Lichess somewhere. I can try to find it later. But, yeah, he played with d4 here. And at first I was thinking whether to just play with, like, queen d4 or queen d6 and perhaps transpose. But actually, this d4 move is actually not a bad move when you do take on g5. So I thought actually I'll make use of the fact that he didn't win a pawn and actually create a nice pawn in white's position. Yeah, and now I played with queen d6 because I realized like I might need to play with c6 to stop the knight coming in, and therefore I'll want to develop the knight on d7. I don't really want to develop the knight with my queen still on d8. So I start with the queen. I play knight d7, we get this trade, and I was very happy with my play at this moment. I decided to complete my development with bishop g7, and I performed a nice barrage. Thank you, Benjamin, for the support. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was a good event, and I have some nice prizes to show for it. But yeah, like for anyone who hasn't read Chess for Tigers, a barrage is basically where you kind of prepare a sequence of moves. You also predict your opponent's moves, and then you kind of just bash out the moves aggressively in quick succession to kind of gain a bit of a time advantage. I also think it's a nice psychological to play to like kind of show to your opponent that you're in command of the game. So I castled queenside. I knew he would castle queenside, and I bashed out e5. I think this was a nice confidence boost, and I think he was a bit rattled because he played bishop g4, which is basically a slight blunder because I can take and then take on d4 and win a pawn. But okay, he played queen f3, which is kind of what I was expecting as well. I played bishop e5 to defend. He played g5, which again what I was expecting. I solidify my position with bishop e6, but then he finds a really nice move, which I hadn't considered. Like he plays rook h6, preparing to double on the h file. And yeah, this rook and pawn and bishop is very, very well supported. So here, I actually haven't checked this with an engine. So probably actually now is a really good time to do that. So you know what? Let me switch to another study of mine which has these games too. You know what? Actually, I'm very keen. Then I want to check. I want to check the engine with this first game just to see if there was any improvements over my play. So yeah, apologies for dropping back like this. Oh, knight d2. What? Knight d2? Are they getting their queen trapped somehow? Oh my word. Oh my word. Knight d2, queen takes b2. If they take, why is this +2? I mean, c3 Venom is even stronger than I imagined. What is this? Is it just... Oh, I think it's rook c1, queen b4, rook b1, queen c3, and then rook b3. I think that's the win. Queen b4, rook b1, queen c3, rook b3. Let's go. Wow. Okay, well that's good to know. I'm glad we checked with an engine. So, yeah, and for the record, I'm 99% sure like my coach didn't check with an engine when he went through these games. He knows that I can do this myself, so he wants to share like his own experience and understanding, because yeah, this human perspective is like very, very valuable, right? So, okay, I have a slight advantage, and yeah, the blunder is definitely a blunder. He blunders even more. Queen a6 is top move. Knight e4 is good enough. Okay, I allow e5, but I'm not too afraid. Yeah, like it's still fine. f3 still fine. All of this still fine. e4 best move. Queen c7, a5. Okay, nice. Yeah, so a clean conversion after winning the material, and I really took my time with the conversion as well. Like I wasn't rushing at all. So yeah, actually what I'll do, you know what? Okay, this is gonna like elongate the stream by double, but I actually want to go through the moves first and then take another look with the engine. So I played queen c5. I think that will help share my thoughts better. So I played queen c5, and he played rook h1, and I realized that actually if I don't act a bit more dynamically here, I don't really know if my advantage is going to stay. I mean, I feel like his pieces are getting really, really strong. And yeah, I'm a pawn up, but I'm just a pawn up. And so I played d4. I mean, I've also got the bishop pair, so opening the position should make some sense. And this is where I blundered. Because I thought that I could play queen c4 with threats on a2, with threats of d3. Yeah, as soon as I played it, I realized, oh man, I've put my king and queen in the side of a fork, and I looked at which pieces are defending d6, and I'm like, oh my god, the two single pieces that are, overloaded protecting h8. So, like, I haven't checked this with an engine, but I was like, as soon as I let go of the piece, like, I had this feeling that, I've just blundered the game. But because, again, I had really been commanding the game, I'd been showing a lot of confidence, I'd been playing pretty quick, my opponent was like a bit lower on the clock. Again, he felt compelled to match my speed. And he blitzed out queen b3. And I'm sure that after he blitzed out queen b3, he probably noticed that, yeah, he just missed the tactic because, like, I mean, probably rook takes h8 is winning, right? I mean, maybe I can fight this on. Maybe I can take with the bishop, and when they take with the rook, then I like, I don't know, take on a2 or something and try switch things up. But I mean, at the end of the day, he'll take on d8, and I'm gonna be like a piece down, and I'm almost definitely lost. So, yeah, like I got extremely lucky that he blitzed out this move without thinking, which, you know, shows his inexperience and lower rating. And yeah, I happily took the queen. I then attacked the knight. The knight gave a check. I moved king d7, and again, this is a move that any strong player would never play, because yeah, this rook is like completely untouchable. I cannot take and allow white to get this past h pawn. At least I don't think so. So this is extremely unnecessary to trade rooks. His idea was to play this very forced sequence, improve the bishop now that my bishop's not on the e5. But yeah, I save my b pawn. He takes my g pawn. I improve my king because, you know, I can take this g pawn at any point. He attacks my pawn, and yeah, I was proud of playing a6 as opposed to a5 because, you know, it's a diagonal away from the knight, and, you know, I'm taking my time with pushing my pawns. I don't want to push them too far and let them get weak. So this was a touch of class, and then I took on g2, and this was actually yeah, like the next round was starting in like 30 seconds or something, and I decided, okay, like I can't you know, retain anymore. I mean, for the record, I cannot trade with bishop e5 because I lose a pawn. So I was being very, very careful, like with my play, and like okay, I mean, I made this one blunder of queen c4, but this was the only blunder, I think, and the rest was very clean. And actually, this conversion, a pawn up, I really played it well, and I converted this endgame of pawn up. Yeah, like I'm trying to remember what even was my plan. Like, did I trade bishops? How did I do this? I think I did trade bishops eventually, and I had bishop against knight, and somehow I just managed to outplay him. Like, I don't even remember exactly how. Yeah, I don't even, like, if you were to ask me right now what is the correct scheme, what is the correct plan, what is my opponent's plan, I really need to think about it. But like in the moment, like I was really locked in, and I really had a good feeling for like how to press in this position. I'm trying. I really don't have any recollection of how it went. But okay, let's have a look with the engine. I think this was a pretty rich game, a very tough game against a 1600. But you know, it's Malaysia for you. Yeah, so we go for this g5. Wow, actually, okay, so I didn't realize actually black is like just so much better already. Wow, d4 is actually the top move. I didn't even know this. So if they take, am I actually winning this already? Wow, it's already -2, huh? Yeah, knight g4 is how I would play, but wow, knight e4 is even strong. That's really interesting. Knight e4 is that strong. Because we're threatening to go rook h2, and then play like queen g3, queen f2. Yeah, knight e4 is actually just game winner. Wow, there's literally nothing they can do. Because yeah, that's the point. If they try and push the d pawn, we still cover this square, so we can just take on h2 anyway, and we're still threatening this mate. Okay, that's something new I've learned. I didn't know this. So I guess this is very specific when white plays in like pure classical Dutch fashion. Wow, okay, so this was actually not the correct way to play. Oh, and it turns out you just play queen d6. So that was kind of like one of my ideas, but okay, yeah, the more you know. So queen d6, knight c3, c6, knight d7, bishop d7, queen e2, bishop g7. Yeah, so I'm keeping the advantage quite nicely. I get an e5. Queen e1's a tough move to find. Bishop g4, yeah, is a mistake. Yeah. Okay, so knight g4, h g4. Queen g6. You know what? This idea actually crossed my mind, I think. When did queen g6 cross my mind? Maybe I only looked at it... When did I look at it? Maybe it was here I looked at queen g6 and I realized it's garbage because I don't deal with the threat on the pawn. So yeah, maybe I don't think I considered queen g6 this early, actually. But okay, this is still decent. This is like -1. What is the idea of queen g6? Queen g6... I guess we're just winning the g-pawn. Maybe that's the nicer pawn to win, because I mean, when we take this way, I mean, our bishop's a little bit loose. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. So I played bishop e5, this is good. And queen e6 is the way to hold. Queen e6, rook h6, and queen f5. Is that... I'm trying to understand how I feel about the queen trade in this position. I guess with the bishop pair, probably I do want to trade queens, because the queen and knight is a potential, like, unit. Yeah, then my bishops are also, like, more free and less vulnerable, I think. So I kind of get that. I don't know if that's a good conclusion, but makes enough sense to me. Okay, queen c5 was actually top move. I thought that this might have been inaccurate. I very simply just move off the h-file. Like, I was feeling so much pressure on this h-file, I just never considered giving it. But yeah, it actually turns out, like, what is the opponent doing? I mean, if they play with rook h7, I mean, I'm always keeping tabs on g6. So yeah, actually, just move the rook off the file. I didn't consider this. Yeah, and then probably, like, ideas of d4 at some point are going to be good. I mean, let's say they play a move like rook h7. Yeah, d4 is up there as a move. But yeah, I'm 100% sure I blundered this in a single move here. Yeah, and queen d5 was like, I guess like my first thought. But then I just thought, well, queen c4 is better because then I have this additional threat. But the problem is that, again, like, had I, you know, played this game like after my months of woodpecker training, I don't think I would have allowed myself to play queen c4 because knight d6 would jump out at me, and also it's a check. It needs to be considered, right? Like, I can't just play queen c4 without considering the checks, and even though, you know, knight d6 check immediately isn't good, at least I've seen the idea, and then I very quickly realized that, yeah, I'm blundering. So, yeah, I'm actually very lucky not to have just lost this game on the spot, and yeah, I think I do blame my training a little bit as a result of that, but, you know, I can't do this intense training for my whole life, otherwise I will literally hate myself and hate chess, so I'm not going to do that. But it's definitely like a good reminder that when I do play like more classical, and if I am taking it as seriously as possible, I need to get back to that woodpecker grind and solve more exercises. So yeah, let's see how bad this is. Okay. No, okay, that is really bad. That is really bad. Yeah, so I blundered in a single move. My opponent missed it, and actually didn't play a good move at all. Yeah, you know what? I was thinking actually, like, you know, this queen is on the line of my bishop. Can I move the queen? But I was so rattled by the fact that I literally had blundered this. I just kind of felt the desire to just get rid of that queen and you know, reset, begin this grind all over again. You know. So I took on b3. Played bishop d5. Oh wow, we can actually take on h6. That's interesting. I mean, this makes me very nervous to play such a move. Bishop d5 now, but only move, right? We're entering into only move territory, which makes me a little bit more concern. So I think positionally speaking, it's definitely not something we want. I mean, bishop d5 here, and you see all the other moves by engine are like very good for black. So I think this is definitely an important move to play. Wow, I can actually just give up the exchange. Wait, hold on a sec. What? If I take on d6, if I take on h8, rook takes h8, rook takes h8, check. I mean, I think it did cross my mind, but I was just like, nah. Bishop d6, rook h8, rook h8, rook h8. I move the king somewhere, king c7. And I'm gonna win this pawn by force. Let's say they try and bring the king over. Let's say I take, and they come here. I mean, this is so risky. Like, you'd really need to be 100% sure that this is winning. And I don't see it, to be honest. Let's see how engine wins this. I don't get it. So rook h8. Ah, you have to take on g2. Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, again, this is actually a problem with my calculation. I've noticed that I often auto recapture. Like to me, it feels like this has to be losing even more material somehow because I allow them to take with check. But yeah, it turns out me taking them or them taking me, it's the same outcome. And bishop g2 then I guess is like one tempo faster somehow. Actually, how? I don't get it. I don't get it. Bishop g2, rook d8. Are we not playing this? Check. King e7? And what if they just play king... Ah, now... I did gain a move. How did I gain a move? I gained a move because I didn't spend a move taking on h8. Wow, okay. Oh, that's so interesting. I'm a sucker for these kind of mistakes. Like, I know some people get this really easily. I remember I actually have a student, actually my first ever chess student, who I'm still teaching today, and he's getting very strong. But yeah, like I explained this kind of situation where conceptually it's difficult for me to understand where I gain that tempo, and for him he gets it in like a second. Like it's like he's like, how do you not just understand this instantly? So yeah, it definitely doesn't come to everyone, but that's really cool. So I shouldn't spend a move taking if I can spend it more productively. Yeah, I need to get better at this. But yeah, this was bad. At least I thought it was. Yeah, I saw knight b7. But somehow I felt like well, I mean, I didn't see an alternative, right? I didn't see that bishop takes d6 was strong. So I felt like, but why didn't I play king c7? Maybe I did just blunder the pawn straight up. I don't even know. I don't remember. Did I really just blunder the pawn? Maybe I did. Because why on earth didn't I play king c7? I mean, this seemed like the much more logical move if I'm going to move the king. Yeah, maybe I just blundered the pawn, and maybe, you know, like he's 1600, he makes this blunder. Yeah, and he finds this line with bishop f4. I played b5, he takes, king e6. Wow, top move by a mile, I guess. I guess, yeah, I can't take on g2 yet because I'm even hanging the pawn, so of course king e6 makes sense. And then I played a6. Yeah, I don't remember how this game went. I don't even know if he played king d2, to be honest. Yeah, and somehow I managed to grind this one out. I mean, I know that he didn't play b4, which probably should have been played. Yeah, somehow I just managed to outmuscle him. Maybe it went like this. Maybe he went knight b5. I played king f5. He played king d3. I checked him. He had to go back. Oh, but then I win a pawn. No, he didn't blunder a pawn. I don't even remember. I don't remember. But yeah, I managed to. I felt like I really converted this one very nicely. Very, very nicely. So, okay, that's cool. That's game number 2. I realized we're going very slow. And this was where, yeah, Roger had some nice games to share with me. related to this theme. And this is really like some C3 Venom, this is what C3 Venom is all about, this game. So if you need any convincing why to play this opening, like this is it. Thank you for the congratulations, Triple S. Thank you, Nico. Oh, you're just saying hey, but yeah. Welcome. Thank you. I don't know. I'm absolutely exhausted. As I said at the start of the stream, I've had less than 8 hours sleep across 2 days. So I am running on empty. Let me put it that way. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the coming games. Josh says, I think the point is that you have 2 pawns for the exchange and your G pawn is super strong. Right. Well, the thing is, I'm a pawn up already, but yeah, I get that second pawn. The G pawn is super strong. But yeah, it does look like you do need to finesse the move order, right? Like you do need to take on G2 and gain that extra tempo. So I mean, it's a very committal decision to play in such a dynamic way when you're already statically better, right? But yeah, looks like it's the precise way to go. But yeah, this game, this made me very happy because whenever the opponent copies my opening, I'm like, you fool, you foolish man, because I know this better than you. And if you think that I haven't studied the most symmetrical of symmetrical lines in C3 Venom, you are sorely mistaken. So knight f6 I give as dubious because I can win the bishop pair. I play knight h4, and bishop g4. There's some very concrete theory to be like plus 0.8, plus 0.9, which I won't reveal. I'll keep it a little secret. But yeah, this one is very easy because I just take on g6 and play h3, so they cannot play knight h5 and win my bishop pair. Like I've got a home. And to make matters worse for them, they take on b3. Which gives me an imbalance of the open A file, and this is my dream position. Like the number of, I don't know what my win percentage is with white online, but it has to be like 70-80%, because I don't know why, it's just so much easier to play for white. I don't really get it, but yeah, I think it's also just suits my style. I like this kind of shuffling, re-maneuvering, and everything is so solid. Yeah, it just works very nicely. So normally in this position, black is playing like some sad move like a6, and I play b4, and I like try and bring a knight to c5. I just develop all my pieces and look for the right breaks and look for the right maneuvers. But he played c5 here, which I actually don't know exactly what the top engine play is. But okay, I thought no harm in completing my development. He didn't fancy trying to make use of the h-file, which maybe he could have tried, but again, without queens, really not afraid. I decided to take and play this move b4. And I was really proud of this next move, knight b3, because I had a game which I was going to send to Roger, but I decided not to. I felt like I actually kind of understood... Oh, did I delete it, or did I at least put it here first? Yeah, I think was it this? Yeah, this was a question I had, but then I kind of answered it. Like, I had this game on stream, right, where in this position, I played the move f3, which allowed the trade, and I kind of spent some time understanding, it's actually a pretty nice maneuver to bring the knight to b3 and try and come to c5. And I guess this analysis was on my mind when I was playing this game. Because I realized, actually, no, I don't really want to trade the knight. I mean, this knight also wants the square. Like, I should keep the knight and try and infiltrate with it. And this is Roger's blunder notation. And yeah, he says, this is the problem that keeps popping up. Black has to do anything in his power to avoid having to play b6. This comes around again in one of your London games from the other side. Yeah, where I had the black pieces, and my opponent, I think, weakened his position with b3. But yeah, anyway, like what I wanted to show with this was like the games that Roger pulled up were just so instructive, so nice. So I don't know at what point to start. Where did we start in this game? Yeah, this was a Boris Gelfand game against the 2600. And here you can see that, white is the isolated queen's pawn, but he's done everything that you should do. You've brought the knight to these very, very dominant squares. And what white does is white simply improves his position and provokes black into making weakening pawn moves. So g6, okay, I don't think it's like such a weakening move, but he goes back queen e2, and in this position, black is like running out of moves, and basically gets baited. Well, not even baited, but just feels like he needs to do something, and plays the move b6. And this is the start of all of black's problems, because now you've also got this weakness on c6. And white hits the queen, white enters with the knight, and then bishop b5. So a6 is needed. So again, drawing the pawns forward, b5 is needed. Now suddenly the c5 square is weak, bishop b3, and then black deals with the c5 square, but then you've got even more entry points and vulnerable pieces. And then f5 is provoked, which then weakens like v squares. So it's like, white is just literally like, pulling apart black's position. And now black has so many weaknesses that white can kind of simplify the position, okay, using some careful tactics, but basically just, completely dominate and, play this 2600 and treat him like, some 1200 player. Like, it's like, okay, 1200 is a bit harsh, maybe like 1800 player, right? Like really, like, just really exemplar play from Galvan. So, this kind of like baiting the opponent to make weakening pawn moves. This is like a important theme, and my opponent, just does this. I mean, like, he sees that my knight might have potential on c5 and a5, so he just wants to get rid of it. But then knight d4, knight d7, and already I win a pawn. And a pawn is all you need when you have good technique with converting the position. You take your time, you don't make any weaknesses, you think schematically, you think what is your plan, you think what is your opponent's plan, you think about what trades you want. And I managed to grind this one out. I think I entered into a bishop versus knight pawn up endgame, and then I found the perfect opportunity to trade bishop for knight entering a pawn endgame, which I'd calculated to be winning. So again, very, very clean game to win. Growing as a technical player. Let's see if the chess engine, makes a mockery of my technical skills. So knight h4, bishop g6. Okay, apparently top move, but I don't give a crap. Now I'm getting this healthier advantage. Again, of course, engine finds a way to hold, but in reality, it's not so easy. G4 I will never play in a million years. Rook fd1. I like taking on c5. I think the imbalance is kind of nice. Knight b3. Interesting, knight e4 is actually better. But again, playing with f3, king f2, not my style. Knight b3. And there we go. I mean, this is the thing as well. It's like, do you want to play a move that is plus 0.5 but not your style? Or do you want to play a move that's plus 0.3 but provokes a weakness that provokes a mistake that makes the position plus 1.5. You got to play like somewhat practically as well. And then this was just really bad. I mean, I think he was struggling a bit with like how to deal with the pressure on the queen side. I'm curious to see how a6 would have gone. Oh, so what am I talking about? It's a bishop on e2. I mean, this is like shows the level of my tactical ability. Okay, I'm very tired. But this was nice. This was nice. I think knight e5 is actually how the game went. I seem to remember this. And then I somehow felt that I could get away with playing knight b5 immediately. I think this is how the game went. I don't really remember. Anyway, I managed to grind it out in the end. So okay, I was on 3 points out of 3, and then I had to play my good friend Brandon here, and Brandon, in typical Malaysia fashion, has a FIDE rating of 1750, and has online ratings of 2700 bullet and 2500 blitz. So just perfect to play in a rapid. I mean, okay, the tournament's not rated, but okay, I'm playing Brandon on 3 out of 3, and there were some debates of whether like are we gonna play a serious game, but somehow I'm feeling the form, and I don't even like seriously consider the idea of not like playing an actual game. So we play. I get the black pieces, and against e4, I'm not going to hesitate to play my Gurgenitzer Modern. We get this c3 line, white exchanges, so we get this like exchange Caro-Kann where I'm playing with g6, and I play for this line with bishop f5, where I don't mind if they take on f5. Yeah, let me look through this first, and then we'll come back with an engine. Yeah, so this is a really funny thing, and we spent like a good I don't know how many minutes arguing about like various moments of this game, but yeah, Roger does not believe in my plan of the minority attack in this position, and in fairness, I think it's an objectively correct assessment, because generally with the minority attack, you really want to have a bishop placed on d6. Because then you challenge the bishop, because otherwise this bishop's just too strong. It's controlling absolutely crucial squares, which you kind of need if you want to start this plan of pushing this minority. But my opponent, I see. I'm so tired. Like I'm losing track of my words. But yeah. From a practical standpoint, I still believe in this minority attack. I mean, I have so much experience of playing the minority attack with the colors reversed with c3 Venom, so I really feel like I have good chances to outplay anyone. And it's funny that the way Roger looks at these positions with the white pieces, he feels like it's a 2-result game. Either he makes a crushing attack, or he's never losing it. But I actually feel the same, because I feel like either I'm going to actually outplay my opponent and they're going to slip up and I'm going to win with the minority attack, or they hold my minority attack and I'm not going to lose this. So I think it's just a matter of style. And in general, what I'd recommend as well is, like, generally when you pick a coach, you're also trying to find someone who suits your style. But I actually think, I mean, the reason why I think I've gained a lot from my sessions with Roger, like, I mean, like, to fully clarify, I mean, like, basically this guy is a national master from the UK, and I actually drew to him in a classical game. But afterwards we analysed the game. He was very generous with his time and shared with me some insights that, I had no idea about, like positional, strategical concepts. And yeah, that kind of stuck with me, but months went by, I didn't think anything of it, and then I thought actually, I kind of wanted to get some guidance. I mean, I was actually in a very bad place, very unstable place with my chess. Like, I was having all these kind of doubts of like, oh, do I want to push for this, pursue this? And I felt like I just needed to have someone to coach me, basically. And I was thinking who? And then, like, Roger Williamson came into my head, and I was just like, you know what, actually, I'll see if he actually is a coach. I didn't know if he was, but from the way he explained some of the stuff he was showing me, it felt like he might have been. And yeah, it turns out he's a coach. So we started some sessions just like once a month. But then I felt that like I didn't really need like the contact hours, but I still want him as a coach, because I think it's like when you have a coach, I think it definitely keeps you motivated to train and work, and not just get lazy. And because I do want to get better at chess, then this is obviously a good thing. And I realized then that like I wanted to train my calculation more. So we started not having lessons, but he would just send me calculation exercises to do. And I think this has helped a lot as well. So anyway, long story short, that's how I've wound up with this guy, who, even though his style, I think, is actually very different to me, but the fact that he's read so many chess books, and he has such a vast knowledge of chess, and he has all of these little nice rules that I think maybe a grandmaster might laugh at, but a player of my level appreciates a lot. And, he's 2300 ECF, so, like, definitely a player that I can look up to. But this minority attack debate, this Carlsbad structure, is definitely a clash that we have, and it's going to be very interesting this year in 6 months when I play in the Merseyside League, whether my current understanding and style is actually going to hold up against consistently playing like 2200 plus players, and yeah, we will only find out when that day comes. But yeah, maybe one last thing to say as well is that I think one really nice thing that I like about having Roger as a coach is that he really challenges my thoughts, and I feel in general I feel like I'm generally a fairly likable person, but that means also I think I gravitate towards people that I like, right? I think that's only normal. But I think that also means that, as much as I'm enjoying the comfort of, interacting with people that are similarly minded, I think it's really nice and refreshing to have someone that is, so, I don't know what the right word to use is, but maybe it's obviously not aggressive, but it's just so, so different. But it's kind of refreshing to analyze and learn from this guy, because it's I feel like I'm getting challenged, which is exactly what I think I need personally. I don't know if everyone needs that in a coach, but I personally need it. So yeah, basically it's a good arrangement. What we have. But back to the game. I end up playing this, and it's funny that Roger gives this a mistake. I mean, I haven't looked at this game of Engine. I don't know if this is really a mistake, but I really challenged him on this, and this idea with playing Rook A7, it's an old Yasser Serouan idea that basically you defend B7, and Roger knows this as well, and he says it's Slav what's the name, Chevenko Slav theory, this Rook A7 motif, and apparently he was educating me. He was telling me how in the 80s you have Mirosevic, who I think was it Mirosevic? God, I don't even remember what name he said. But basically there are some top players who kind of popularized Rook A7 as a means to defend the B pawn, but yeah, kind of fell out of favor over the years. But yeah, this was actually an interesting moment, because when I played this move, obviously I had to calculate the move knight e5, because if my knight gets challenged and I lose the rook, then I'm in trouble. But what I calculated was queen d8. And actually, Brandon had seen up to queen d8 as well, and felt that this is just good for me. But I'd calculated a bit further, and I thought, oh crap, I miscalculated, because what I originally calculated when I played this Rook A7 was on knight e5, queen d8, queen c5. I have knight takes e5, and if they take my rook, I've got knight d3, where I win back material. And there's no good intermezzo with the bishop. So I was very happy with this, but then I realized, well, actually, hold up a sec. On queen c5, if I take on e5, I can take with the pawn. And now I do have a problem, which I cannot solve. But then, when we analyzed after with Brandon, he said that, actually, wait, do I have to move b6? And Roger's comment on this move was, well, it weakens c6. I mean, relevant to the last game, right? To be avoided if it can. Which suggests Rook A7 is not so great. Now, I was really challenging him on this, because I was well, I mean, yeah, I get that the c6 square is weak, but I mean, how does white actually make use of it? And then he suggested, how the knight can come into c6, like this. But I was well, okay, am I going to have time to, dominate on the c file? Am I going to have time to, play maybe, Rook b8, queen b8, Rook c7, Rook c8, and deal with this? But then he was well, then you're just, defending a square. What is your active plan? So then I was well, okay, my active plan would be to play Rook c4 and try and make this minority attack work. And he was well, okay, as you're doing that, I'm going to crush you on the king side. So again, we'd have to actually play this game out and see how it goes. But yeah, interesting that, Roger's extremely conscious about, the squares that you weaken with pawn moves. Yeah, for the record, of course, I need to move my knight first, because it's being attacked. But yeah, I think maybe at this moment we flicked on the engine, or at least Roger did, and the engine came up with a nice idea. I think the engine said like Queen E3, and as a means to actually try and exploit these squares, rather than like play with a knight or something, which I guess is a bit slow. Just plays to C4 immediately, and I think this is actually a really scary move. Like I didn't think about this, but now I start to appreciate. Ooh, if let's say something like this happens, then these squares are really starting to feel very weak, and I no longer feel like I'm so comfortable, right? So I think C4 is actually a really nice move, and I think this is a move you can find if you do start appreciating squares that are weak. Um, but yeah, so that was an interesting debate and discussion. Um, but yeah, Brandon played the move knight b3, which is very ambitious, and it's kind of Brandon's style. I think like he plays like very ambitious moves from quirky foundations, I would say, and I think it pays off quite nicely actually, as a style. But what I'd seen is okay. I played knight e4. He was still a bit afraid of my plan to play queen d8, so he decided to play knight g5 with the ambition to cover d8, but also remove my knight so that knight c5 is possible. Um, yeah, and in this position, after knight c5, I went with queen c7, and actually Roger felt that in this position, knight a4 was a missed opportunity for white, because if white can clamp down on that queen side and maintain that clamp, then yeah, this is perhaps problematic for me. I did try and challenge this and say, well, okay, if I take on b6, can I not like find a way to like remove this knight? And what did Roger say about this? I'm trying to remember. I don't quite remember. Maybe it's just not so easy to do, right? I mean, your rook is attacked. Where are you going to put the rook? I mean, for starters, if you play a move like this, I think this bishop is just like really, really uncomfortable. I mean, we're already, dealing with these queenside pieces. So what? We have to play like rook e8 probably, and maybe white can think about something like this. What was Roger's plan? Or maybe I think his plan may have been to push the pawn to a5, and then just simply reroute these pieces to the e5 square, and then eventually make some kind of kingside play. I mean, that's something like this. Yeah, I mean, normally, to be honest, normally like during the lessons, I'm like making like little notes to then turn into notes and like try and revise from this. But I've been so busy and tired, like I could not bring myself to do it. So yeah, I don't quite remember exactly what Roger's counter to this idea was, but yeah. Anyway, I think knight a4 would have been a good try, which both of us missed. And yeah, funny again that Roger gives this evaluation that this is a 2-result game. But yeah, but I disagree. I disagree. I mean, time will tell whether I'm correct about this stance or not. But yeah, he plays bishop f4. I play rook c8 and b4, and I know that this is a mistake. And again, I am for just for the lightheartedness of it, I'm gonna promote C3 Venom again. And if you study C3 Venom and you like learned about the minority attack properly, you would never make this move, because the rule is you should never play with b4 when I have not played b5, because if I played b5, then the knight is like a real rock on c5. But if I still have b6, then basically I can dislodge the knight and I can play on the c file. Like, this is the principle. Um, Although I have to admit, I mean, this is not a c3 Venom position where, I've managed to trade off these bishops, or I have a bishop on d6, so it's definitely going to be harder to take over on the c file. But yeah, anyway, I played b6. Um, I then reroute my knight because I was a bit concerned of white playing like a4, a5, and getting a knight to c5, and I kind of wanted to have a knight ready to chop it. And actually, this is something I'm very much looking forward to analyzing with an engine, because I don't actually know how does this pawn structure play out. Is it good for white? Is it good for black? I'm very curious. Like, I really want to see what the engine says. And yeah, Roger was suggesting a5 here, b5. And then I was challenging that, no, I do have a plan here with knight e7, I think. Trying to maybe come around this way or something. Oh yeah, this was the point, right? Because after b4, now Roger had the opinion that black is now in the driver's seat of a two-result game, but he reckoned that, yeah, I think he reckoned that like if I try and play with a5, then I'm still not getting anything. Like, even though I have this c file, there's still nothing. But I disagree with this. I disagree that like I've got nothing. I mean, I feel like I can try and grind this, and just put pressure on in a way that like induces a mistake. But yeah, maybe objectively speaking, white can just hold. Like, I think Roger's point was that this is just one weakness, and with only one weakness on the board, you cannot like grind the win. Which is fair. But yeah, I mean, I didn't play with a5. I don't think like it's necessary to close it up in that way. Although, having said that, actually no. If my opponent had played like b5 here, I probably was playing a5, which is kind of like very similar to what we just saw. But still, I fancy having this like two-result game where I'm just pressing and yeah, good luck holding that forever. You know, like I'll find a way to like induce something. You know, so yeah, I get knight b7 in. What is Roger talking about here? a5, b5. Right, and this is the debate that I really want to see. I really want to find out like what is the evaluation of this. I was suggesting that maybe a d4 is a move, and Roger was like, well, you got to be careful of c4 potentially as well. Yeah, I don't know. It needs to be checked with an engine. So I look forward to doing that very soon. But yeah, this was now a chance for me to like try and improve the position. I felt h6 g5 was an improvement because now I can play with bishop f6 and king g7 while I've like, you know, dominated some squares from this knight. And yeah, it's interesting here because at first, I mean, Roger actually gave this as a mistake. This c4 move, and he felt that like it's better to hold this position than to open it with c4. But after analyzing this a bit further, like, you know, to try and play this position, it's actually not so easy. I mean, I said that basically I would sack the exchange with confidence here, and I also you know, came up with a line that where was it? Oh yeah, no. I would not sack with confidence, because the problem is if I sack, then white can play c4, and then I'm in trouble. So what I need to do is, before I consider sacrificing, I need to put the knight on d6, and then I am threatening, like, if white plays a move like king f1, then I can sack, and I'm covering this square. And I feel like this is a position I could play on and try and convert. But yeah, I was very happy with my answer here, because Roger was like, well, okay, you know, if you put the knight on d6, then maybe the knight can just go back, and every time the knight like comes to e4 or something, then I'll just put the knight back, where, you know, if you sack again, then again c4 is on the cards, right? But here I found a very nice move, which, okay, we haven't checked with an engine, but I really like the spirit of rook c4. And I mean, we had a nice laugh, because I mean, the last, like, every week where I get set like 3 calculation exercises to solve, I mean, lots of these exercises are like kind of like trying to improve my dynamic play and my like considerations for exchange sacrifices. And yeah, like finally now I'm starting to find some really nice lines of analysis to uh, yeah, like find these dynamic ideas. So I think Rook C4 is very interesting, but it turns out that actually C4 is in fact the best move in the position, and the reason why is because in this position I'm actually losing. And it turns out the move c5 here is actually winning. And while I catch up chat, you guys can try and work out why. Like I thought, like I didn't consider this because I thought I just win a pawn. But what's the point? Why is this actually losing for black? Org Iron says, "Did you get awarded?" Yes, I won a medal. I also got treated to this plushie. Which was a little bet I had with some friends. If I won the tournament, then I would get treated because I treated them for lunch. And great to see you, Richard. Tune in for a stream. Yes, spraying Venom all over the world. It looks like absolutely. I mean, yeah, like C3 Venom all the way. And actually, Richard, I would love to hear your opinion of the Benoni course, because the only other person I know who has studied the YouTube Benoni course is George, and obviously I know that George, absolutely loved it. So I don't know if you had the time to like watch all the videos yet, but would be very curious to hear what your review is of the Benoni lessons. But yeah, in this position, actually, it turns out that it's just a tactical b6. And yeah, okay, I'm not losing the rook. I need to move it somewhere awkward like e7, but yeah, I do not want a position where these pawns start rolling. I'm completely busted. So yeah, like these kind of ideas need to be backed up concretely. And yeah, Roger's testament to why c4 should be a mistake is like, he was like, well, okay, I mean, c4's a mistake unless you see why it's not a mistake. Like, why if you see the c5, then it's not a mistake. But then you need to see all this, right? So, yeah, he felt like opening the position was a little bit loose. And yeah, I managed to actually start to turn the tables here. I find this nice idea of knight e7, but then Brandon finds this nice idea of king d3, so I'm not actually able to enter this position because basically the king will come in. And yeah, at this point, I think, I was still inputting the games or something as Roger was looking at this, so I don't think I even had the game finished at this point, but to finish how the game went, where is it? This is round 4. So, let's get all the way back there. So yeah, I really enjoy these games. I mean, they're a little bit less crazy than my old style of chess, but I really enjoy them. So, yeah, I went with knight d5 instead. I was under time pressure as well, and I asked Roger as well, like, this position, like, if you get to this point and you can't evaluate it, are there any principles to go by to decide whether you should play it or not? And Roger was just like, yeah, no, you absolutely do not play this, like, if you can't calculate, because, I mean, this is just, Russian roulette. Like, maybe you win, maybe you lose. Like, the tempi can matter so much in these pawn endgames. Like, yeah, you don't play this without being sure. So, yeah, this is kind of my understanding as well. So it was good to get that reassurance. Knight d5 was played instead. I brought the knight to f4. I went back. And then, yeah, this is the thing. Like, when you've got a little bit more pressure than the opponent, it's easier for your opponent to slip up. But having said that, I don't even know if I'm actually taking over with knight b4, because after knight b4, rook c2, white does get rid of their isolated pawn with d5. I kick the rook, because I didn't want rook d6, obviously. But then white gets to defend the a pawn from a very active post. And believe it or not, the game ends in a couple moves. And I mean, if Brandon watches this is always going to be like a painful moment. But I played the move f5, which I felt was an improving move, and Brandon played g4, which, is this kind of classic, like, quirky Brandon move. And I played this move rook c3, and what Brandon told me after the game was he was calculating whether he can get away with king e2. basically trying to bait me to take on h3 and then play this move rook c4 and try and win this b pawn and try and turn the tables. Or he just plays the safe option of king g2. And as he was thinking about this, he didn't realize that he was actually very, very low on the clock. And I did realize, but I made sure to like kind of look as relaxed and as chill as possible. And yeah, when your opponent is getting down to like, let's say they've got like, I don't know, 8 seconds left, and you're counting like kind of subconsciously in your head, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. When they get down to like maybe 3, 2, 1, you must not look at the clock. Because if you look at the clock, they might catch a glance of the clock and then play a move, right? So what you need to do is you need to just kind of just keep looking away and keep looking relaxed and let them look at the clock themselves. And by the time Brandon looked at the clock, I think the clock was on 1 second. He blitzed out king g2, smashed the clock, but luck should have it that he ran out of time. So it's pretty insane that white flagged here. But yeah, that's rapid for you. And I mean, these are the differences between over the board chess and online chess. You need to kind of have these like practical wits about you, which only really comes through experience. So I mean, that's where I have the strength compared to like a lot of these players in Malaysia, that I just have a lot more tournament and practical experience. But yeah, very curious to see this game with an engine actually. Also, a random thought that has literally only just crossed my mind. I don't know how many hours into the stream we are already, but the rainbow tie for the medal and for the shirtless appearance, I'm really making a good case for some LGBT rights or something, which was not my intention at all. It's just coincidence. But hey, I mean, yeah, let's support it. Why not? Yeah, so let's see how this game went. So, bishop f5. We're already getting close to equality. And, yeah, I mean, Roger will claim this is like a 2-result game, kind of eval, but whatever, I like it. Yeah, and a6 is fine. Okay, I'm glad to see that a6 is not a mistake. Wow, and knight e5, queen d8, queen c5, d e5, b6. Yeah, and this is plus 0.9, but I think after knight d7, rook a d1 first. I really like c4 though. I really like the spirit of c4. Wow, c4, you need to play this? What happens if this? What, you can't take the pawn, why? I'm trying to work out why we can't take this. I don't see it. Are we not just down a pawn? What am I missing? I mean, I was trying to make knight e5 work, but how? Like, can't we just take the queen and then take the knight? Like this check surely doesn't help. We're hitting the loose knight on d2. Okay, I didn't see this. Okay. Right, so I guess I have some opportunities to at least, you know, not allow this pawn to be so strong, and d4 basically claims some squares as well. Yeah, this would be an absolute nightmare, I think, this kind of position. So, yeah, interesting idea of this c4. But yeah, it turns out that after queen c5, I have options here. Oh, this was actually what Brandon analyzed after as well. He was like, after knight c6, knight c5, yeah, he was just like, yeah, what the hell is this? And I was just like, yeah, I'm not analyzing this. And then we looked at this knight takes e6 as well. Yeah, I don't even know. Crazy. Yeah, so yeah, that's interesting to see. Knight b3 was played. I took knight c5, queen c7. Yeah, knight a4 is top move. Okay. Rook c8. Yeah, and b4 now it's a 2-result game for me, which is fair. b6. Yeah, and interesting to see Roger's suggestion of a5 come up a lot. Doesn't quite feel right to me to play for this so soon. But yeah, actually, what I want to do then, let me copy this game onto the study so I can see all the sidelines, because that was like some interesting sidelines. So let's have a look. Where are we? So yeah, so this moment, yeah, I really need to find out the answer of this. I really want to know, after knight c5, can I take that knight? Yes, I can. And what is this position? I've been itching to find out like what the situation is with this pawn structure. This last couple days. Interesting. So let's have a look at these different lines. So on d4, c4 is apparently equalizing. Rook e d1 is a move as well. What about rook c d1, keeping tabs to prevent e5? God, it just feels very sharp, and I guess like nothing works anyway. I'm even surprised how d3 is like such a good move. Oh, it makes perfect sense though, where we're revealing this bishop. Yeah, so actually white is already needing to play very precisely with bishop e5. And we need to play precisely, I guess, with d2. And then we trade in any case. And what happens if they ever push c6? Is this just bad? I guess we go rook c7. It's still equal, huh? But I do like this plan of pushing d4 because I feel like you need some activity for the rooks. So if we play rook c6, is there actually a way for white to break free? I feel like the fact that white has this pawn break makes me a little nervous. What if we got this? I guess if we get this trade, then probably I'm doing well with d4. No. Not with the rook awkwardly placed on c6. Okay. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of like, when is this structure good and when is it bad? Like what pieces make the difference? So okay, this position is +1. Let's actually get the same position without bishops. Let's see what this position then says. So this is actually +0.3. So the bishop's apparently helping black, which makes sense because I mean, you know, this pawn mass is on dark squares and our bishop can pressure, whereas their bishop is kind of a bit redundant. But it's also like very fine margins here. What about pawn endgame? Let's say we get our king to c6. Is this at least a draw or we lost? Let's say this kind of position. Okay, this is just drawing with correct play. Actually, yeah, even with like lots of different moves, it's still drawing, which is good. So I guess what I'm starting to understand a bit is like this kind of capturing on c5. It's kind of like a last resort kind of play, because probably it's just going to be quite equal, and you just got to be a bit careful. So then I'm wondering, where did I go wrong actually? Because b4 is definitely a mistake and b6 is correct, but apparently I cannot allow a4, a5. I think that's the point. So when I play knight d8 and rook c1, Was a4 top move? It wasn't. Oh, because the pawn's hanging, so we have to defend the pawn. And after rook d7, a4. And probably here then. Maybe this is where I need to go a5 already. But I see how maybe that's like... Oh god, I really hate it. I don't wanna open up this b file. But yeah, I guess this pawn is weak as well. But no, but then they can play knight c5, so this feels really good for white. So maybe then yeah, after this knight d3, so b4, b6, kick the knight away, and then just a5 already to stop white playing a4, a5. So then we get this closed structure, and then that's a position where we can just grind against this c pawn. Right, that makes sense. What time is that? Oh my god, it's 1 a.m. Yeah, I'm gonna sleep so well. I'm gonna sleep so well. You don't even know. And then I'm gonna mess up my sleep schedule the next day because I've got the chess mood open. Let me check. Okay, chat is very quiet. I guess yeah, we're pretty deep with the analysis. But yeah, I realized like, you know, I was gonna like tell more of like the story of like, you know, how the tournament went by and like each round by round points, but I guess I'm just very interested in the analysis and I'm really interested in the games, and I think that's a really positive thing actually. Like now this is like where my interest is peaked. But yeah, I'm kind of curious, like can white like conjure up like some c4 push pretty fast? Interesting that a4 is actually strong here. I mean, like to just give that square on b4 just like that is like really wild to me. Play rook here, knight b7, c1, knight a5. Wow, we even pushed his pawn all the way up. I mean, yeah, actually, I can kind of believe it. So what, does that mean after knight d8, they should go a4 themselves? Oh, but they're dropping the pawn. That's actually quite cool then. So kick this knight, and then you do not want to allow them to get this structure. So then we need to play this. But if they do get this structure, at the very least we can chop the knight and we have an equal position. But ideally then we want to play for a5. I guess one other concern I have is if we play a5, what if they take? But this is very different to that other line where the knight gets to c5, because here the knight doesn't get to c5. We get knight to c4, protecting b6, and this is beautiful. I think for some reason in the game I felt like I didn't want to get this backwards pawn on the b file, but I think I just completely overlooked that I have this counterplay. Yeah, I'm hungry, guys. So I'm gonna grab some food, but I'll be back in like I don't know, like 30 seconds. Josh is still in the stream. Okay, I'm glad to see that we've got some viewers still. Yeah, chess mood thing tomorrow. Exactly, that's gonna be fun. Quite out of chess shape. Just have fun. Give it your best. But okay, see you in just a sec. Hi. So, I've decided my food of choice. I should have brought like a fork or something. But Basically, there was at the supermarket there was like a 2 for 1 for like fruit, and I didn't realize it was a 2 for 1. But the like this is what I mean. It's like the little things are so important. Like the shopkeeper at this like busy supermarket was like, "Yo, it's 2 for 1. Like I'll wait for you. Go grab another box." And I mean, like in the UK, that shit just wouldn't happen. Like people don't care, right? And I mean, she didn't need to tell me. I mean, it's my own fault for not realizing it's 2 for 1. But yeah, people are just nice in Malaysia. So, yeah, I basically got some extra fruit, but this was on Saturday, and I'm pretty sure this fruit is probably like, I don't know, how long does fruit last in the fridge? I mean, fruit lasts pretty long in the fridge. I feel like, so it might be a little expired, but like, I feel like my sleep deprivation is killing me more. Let me get a fork. One sec. I Okay. The long analysis grind continues. How am I gonna eat and talk at the same time, bro? But yeah, this kind of analysis on understanding this like A5 motif, I think is really, really nice. It's so nice. B takes A5. Like the day I can just play A5 with confidence, and I don't think the day is gonna be too far away. Like probably I will need to come across this structure just a few more times, just keep analyzing it, and at some point it'll just become like really intuitive, and this will be so nice. Yeah, so okay, now I understand this A5 a lot better, because yeah, we need to be a lot more careful of this plan. Um Knight B7. Yeah, and this is what I think is also very good about a coach, because I mean, like, I want to do this analysis, but I can easily imagine if I didn't have a coach, I might just play this tournament and just be like, I'm so exhausted, I'm just gonna sleep. But because I've had this lesson and I've kind of been like, having this intellectual debate, it even inspires me to just like work on my own. So I think it just helps a lot. It really does help a lot. Just to have someone like rooting for you in your corner. Like I think this is like really, really nice. Oh wow, I can take already? So this is a better way to do it apparently. How does this work? So if they go, can they not go B5? Huh, we can just take? Oh, we can take and play knight D6. That looks very scary for them. Yeah, because I'm threatening two things already. Could I have done that in the game when he played B5? I probably should have taken, yeah. Yeah, taken and then actually made use of this weakness. The thing is, I was just afraid that maybe he'll somehow get on the A file, but maybe not with a C pawn. Like, if I take and he takes. Oh, I've even got knight A5 to clog up the A file. Oh, that's very cool. Oh, that's so nice, knight A5. I did not see that. And also, I can't really blame Roger for not finding these moves either, because I mean, I sent these games to him extremely late, and it wasn't the focus of the lesson. So, yeah, I don't blame him at all. But even this is decent, and I guess this would be a very powerful threat, if not for White already being able to break with C4. A5. Oh, I just thought of something I need to sort out later. Let me do this real quick. Right. Yeah, so actually c4 is a fantastic move because, uh, yeah, it looks like dc4 is my only move, which is definitely not an easy find to just concede the c file like that. But yeah, it turns out that this is just bad because of this very precise c5 move, which both of us missed. Um, Now I can take on c4. Knight takes a5. Oh my god, what a move. That is an insane move. It's literally defended twice, but because of two different motifs, it can't be taken. Wow. Oh man. I mean, I think this is also why like my chess level is somewhat capped. Because there'll get a point where I play these games and I will lose every time because I'm playing players who don't miss knight a5. Like, I think it's just so hard to like play a whole game without any like game defining tactics and make sure you see all of them. It's very difficult. So I think, yeah, in some ways at least my blitz is rapid. I mean, my classical I don't think is capped in the sense. I mean, if I'm very uh, warmed up with like my training, I think like in classical I can handle this. Like it's hard, but I can handle it. But in rapid and blitz, it's like I think I'm definitely capped at a certain level. Like I don't know what level that is. Probably I've got like I reckon I could definitely go significantly higher, but yeah, no. At some point it is just gonna be too hard. I mean, I think the only way that I would see it is if my positional chess is so strong that I don't need to burn time trying to work out the right plan because the right plans are just coming intuitively. And then I can actually spend more time like blunder checking and working out whether I can get away with playing certain moves. Are there any hidden tactics? You know. But right now, I think most of my energy is devoted to finding the right plans and ideas, and these tactical side of things. Like it's really hard to like be looking out for them with so little time. Oh my god, more tactics with rook c6. I did not see this. That's insane. So I think the point is, if but actually no, we're just winning an exchange in all cases. Yeah. Oh, but we are losing an exchange here, right? And losing an exchange here. But the point is we're just winning the pawns, right? So if pawn takes, we go check, take, and then bring the king over. Wait, hold on a sec. Well, I'm so confused. If we go rook takes and they take with the pawn and we go check, and they go king d3, and we go take and they take, and we go king here, they bring their king up here, and they bring their king here. No, I think this is very unclear. What am I missing? Let's have a look what I'm missing. Rook c6, bc6, knight c6, king d3, knight c2, rook c2. Oh, wait. King e5 is the same though, no? King e5? Oh, there's no king c4 because there's rook takes c6. I see. So, hold on a sec. Can you not, like, take on c6 with the rook? And get something very similar, but... So, knight check. If king d3, now we take, and what if they take with the rook? That's my question. Rook takes, b takes, king e7, king c4. Yeah, this needs to be calculated. Yeah, this is that. Is this actually a direct transposition to this line? Why is this different? Hold on, I don't follow at all. Oh, we have an extra pawn. There's an extra pawn missing on d4. So of course this is winning for black. Yeah, I forgot that we actually win a pawn with this combination. So knight takes d4. Yeah, we're just winning that pawn, and then it's enough to win. Very cool. Yeah, no, I didn't catch that at all. But yeah, good to see that knight c6 here is actually not. Yeah, this is even losing. This is even losing. Yeah, so I'm glad I didn't enter this. I mean, it also makes sense that I'm losing because this position I have passive king, and they have active king. So that's the biggest factor. So makes a lot of sense. But also very interesting that actually, yeah, like this is what Roger was saying, like do not risk this. I mean, it's like all tempo dependent, and yeah, white is winning with g4, losing with any other move. So that says it all about pawn endgames. But yeah, how did the game finish then? So knight b4 was a decent try. d5, only move. And taking is maybe a bit too boring. But okay, it makes sense. Rook d4 apparently. Did I play f5? I actually get the feeling. Did I play rook a2? No, I didn't. I didn't play rook a2. I didn't play rook a2. Yeah, I just played this f5, which is just drawing. But apparently everything's drawing. Crazy. Yeah, and turns out king e2 is also playable. But how does that actually go with rook c4? I just grab on g4. That's crazy. King f5. Oh my god, I wouldn't want to work this one out. You can go rook a3. I guess rook g3 we're actually in trouble, but rook a3 is nice because then at least you win the pawn and you're still going to get behind. This kind of makes sense. Yeah, black is the one white is the one who needs to be slightly careful. We've got this extra pawn. I hope I would have found this, but yeah, very lucky that my opponent flagged. So at this moment, I'm on 4 out of 4, and I'm leading the field by half a point. So I have one opponent who's on 3.5 out of 4, and actually everyone else is only on 3 points at this moment. So I get lunch, just some typical Malaysian food. Actually, no, I had like a Chinese dish. I had like some fried rice. And anyway, I head back to the venue. I even take a short nap of just like 10-15 minutes. But I really felt completely off. I think like it wasn't really the nap's fault. I think the nap actually helped me a lot because I was just really tired, having played 4 games on less than 4 hours sleep. But I think like the maybe it's like just the eating of the meal and just disrupting the rhythm of the playing. This next round was just really dreadful. But speaking of being utterly exhausted, I think like I'm glad I did this analysis very thoroughly, but I think I just got to sleep and enjoy this fruit in the comfort of watching some mind numbing TV. I feel like I can, or maybe I just close my eyes and even I'm so tired. So I think unfortunately guys, you have to wait for the rest of the games. I don't know if I'll get to them, but what I will say, one maybe final highlight to end on, aside from the theoretically crushing win, okay, let me explain in words. Round 5 was my dodgiest round, but I offered an early draw, which was accepted to my surprise. Round 6, I played the FM, and I'll show you the position that I managed to find this brilliant tactic to win. And round 7, I got some C3 Venom theory, which after the theory ended, I'd actually analyzed that position further because of my online games where I'd been analyzing. And so I knew the whole game, and I knew that, well, I won a pawn by force, and I was just simply better, but I knew that a draw would secure me the tournament, so I wasn't. I basically just offered the draw, and my opponent was like tempted to play on, but he just felt like, what is he playing on for? He literally is just a pawn down. Like, he's playing for a draw. So if he gets offered the draw, so he just took it and was like, because I mean, even if he won, I think like I would still win on tie breaks. So he felt like, yeah, just take the draw, and I think he got third place as a result. But to show you the position that I got against the FM, I ended up, very badly misplaying it. No way does the engine say that black is better here. Oh, come on. Black is not better here. Let me take a photo. That's actually insane. What? This is the most insane evaluation I've ever seen in my life. Because after the game, what we felt like we realized was maybe white can just put the rook on b1 and just push the b pawn and I'm not okay here. But queen c5, if rook a1. Wow, I just get active with the queen and I don't care about like the king's defense. That's really, really shocking. But if I play some slow move like queen c6, it still says I'm slightly better. Like, what if they play rook b1? I guess the thing is... I've even got d4 ideas. But king h2? And I get the counterplay this way. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think maybe there was a point where my king was even a bit weaker, and maybe it wasn't so easy to get counterplay. I don't know, but yeah, I was like struggling on this position. I was dealing with a lot of pressure on my king for many moves, and I was also on increment as well. And it's worth mentioning a little story about this because I had a position from the Benoni where it was a very good position. But he bashed out a move that completely unnerved me, and I responded by bashing out a move, and I accidentally played the wrong move order, which basically put me in a really bad position, which led to this kind of position. And I basically got psyched out with the like kind of the aggression of which he played the move. But he's an extremely experienced player, more experienced than me even. So, I mean, this comes with practice as well. Like, I shouldn't have got psyched out. Also, I'm realizing this couldn't have been a position because I definitely didn't have queen h6 as an option ever. So maybe it never was this rosy for me. But in any case, basically white got their pieces around to this side of the board. They were kind of trying to threaten all kinds of tricks and maybe bring the bishop in or But I decided to push my pawn, and white decided that, okay, enough is enough. Let's just bail out with the move bishop e3. The first instinct I had was to just take the pawn, and then they take my pawn, and I should be able to hold this. But on the train journey in the morning, I had basically been solving a lot of tactics from CTR 4.0, and I decided to train a bunch of pass pawn tactics. So I did around maybe 10 of these before the start of round 1, and just with increment on the clock, I felt that this was a winning move, and I went for it, and it is. Because I queen, potentially with check, so there's no time to take this, because I queen and I win this bishop. And basically, in the end, he went for this, and he bashed out this move, and I brought my queen back. And slowly but surely, probably very inaccurately, I managed to convert this position and win. And again, there was this moment where I think he started to get some counterplay on my king, but I calculated that I'm one tempo faster to deliver checkmate. And this again is thanks to the recent work I've put in on my defense, understanding how to defend in chess better. So this was a really nice thing to see that pay off here. So yeah. This was really nice. So I ended up scoring 6 out of 7 in this tournament, getting the first place, 250 ringgit, a nice medal, some nice memories, and yeah, I guess that's how I won the KL Gateway. And I think I think that checklist that I wrote right on this in this scorebook, I just wrote these pieces of advice. I think reading out my own advice like before each round was very very useful, and I think just keeping such a positive. I mean, it's easy to stay positive when you don't lose any games, but also I will sort out my hair because I think I can do better than this. But yeah, another day. Um, but yeah, I think yeah, what I was saying was like obviously it's easy to stay positive when you don't have any losses, but I think just keeping up that kind of uh, I'm really here to play. I'm really here to like enjoy myself, like feel grateful about playing, and I think it's linked to that stream I did the other day when I was talking about finding fulfillment in competitive chess, and it's like you've really just got to love it, and I feel like when I played this tournament, like I really was enjoying my games. Like I really was enjoying it. And like even this stressful situation of holding this position against an FM before turning the tables. I mean, I don't think I was necessarily enjoying it in the moment, but it was still like I was kind of like enjoying the challenge. Even though it was like very stressful and even though it was just like torture because I was basically playing on increment for like 20 moves as like I'm defending all of these threats from my opponent, and these opposite colored bishops with heavy pieces on the board are so difficult. But yeah, that's when when I do turn the tables, that's when it feels like even more better that like I managed to do this, right? And I think another thing that just made me feel really good was that I met a lot of people at this tournament who kind of had questions of like how did I get to this level, and also speak to people who have like really crazy ambitions. Like I spoke to some people who have goals as a chess player that are higher than my goals as a chess player, yet they are so far behind me in terms of our relative journeys. And it's like I feel like I'm such a veteran of like being a chess player where I've not only had a lot of like practical experience from growing up playing chess, but also I have such experience of goal setting and being realistic about my potential and understanding my potential and like all of this kind of stuff. And it's like that stuff you can't know without going through the process yourself. So I think it's cool to be able to understand how far on this journey I am, especially through talking to people and picking up on how naive like people are about like how hard this stuff is. But yeah, it's cool that I managed to like pull all of this together in a way that meant that I actually won this tournament. And it was only like coming home and finally getting into bed at 4 a.m. yesterday that I finally was like, holy crap, I actually just won a tournament. I didn't even clock it really because I mean I was so like focused on all of these other aspects of chess that didn't really clock to me that I'd actually won a tournament, right? Which is why I think that helps winning it, because I mean if you're too focused on trying to just on the results and on the tournament, like you start to lose focus and just play worse, and like it just goes so badly. So yeah, it's cool that we're here and we got to this moment. And I think on that note, guys, I'm going to call it a day. So thank you for tuning in. I will badger Richard, the new Chess Lifestyle member, over his opinions on the Benoni course. I mean, I am super proud of like these 4 episodes and how successful it all turned out. I think it's a fantastic repertoire. Probably I will even look back at some of it and remind myself of certain lines because I think it was really good. And yeah, the Gurganitsa modern Chessable course is undergoing importing, so the ball is rolling, and yeah, I think chess is going very well, and I think it all comes back to like, a lot of failure. Remembering this quote, the master has failed more times than beginners even tried. I mean, it's really true. Not just with chess, but with everything in life. and yeah, just by keeping at it, like you end up you end up learning and growing enough to actually, yeah, like get places, you know. So yeah, things are good. Thanks for the good night wishes, Triple S, and yeah, I am calling it a day. I'm gonna enjoy, uh, I'm gonna enjoy the sleep, like for real. Okay, see you guys on Friday for some more chess training, most likely. Okay, bye.